We are pleased to have Dr. Sandeep Shastri as one of our guests of honor this evening. He is a political scientist who also holds the office of the Pro-Vice Chancellor of the Jain University and is the director of its Center for Research in Social Sciences and Education. Dr. Shastri is an integral part of the Lokniti Network, a program for comparative democracy founded in 1997. In fact, he is the national coordinator of this program. His research is largely in the field of election studies, federalism, innovations in teaching, and conducting survey-based research. To go with this, he has to his credit 10 books and over 40 articles in edited books and over 75 papers in referred research journals, besides a few hundred in editorial pages of newspapers. In the field of social sciences and education, Dr. Shastri is associated with several prestigious international research bodies and has served as an international consultant associated with the Forum of Federations for its Federal Democracy Capacity Building program in Sudan, South Sudan, and Myanmar. Two important research committees of the International Political Science Association connected to the study of electoral systems and governance have him on their executive committee. Dr. Shastri played a key role in drafting the Karnataka youth policy by serving as the chairman of the drafting committee of the policy. Dr. Shastri has traveled wide and far and lectured extensively at universities in more than 30 countries in all the 6 inhabited continents. We are grateful to you for accepting our invitation, sir. I invite Dr. Shastri to address the gathering.
Distinguished guests on the dais, my colleagues and dear student friends. Let me say what an honor it is for me to be part of this celebration of the 15th year of the creation of this wonderful institution. When Dr. Sadhugopan sent me a mail asking me to join him on this occasion, and when people like Dr. Sadhugopan send you a mail, A, you want to reply to it as soon as possible, and B, you can't say no to what he has asked you. So I said yes. And then I started wondering, in a IIIT institution, what role can I play as a student of social sciences and research? Somehow I have invented a role for myself. And in the next 10 minutes, I thought I would dialogue with you all, choosing 3 important incidents which have happened in my life, which I believe have important implications for a huge learning process we are all involved in. One happened 3 months ago, one happened 9 months ago, and one happened 18 years ago. And I'll quickly share all the 3. Let me share the one which happened 3 months ago. Now, this didn't happen 3 months ago. I completed my schooling in Afghanistan more than 30 years ago. And the principal of my school there, I happened to meet for the first time after Kabul 3 months back. He is now a young man of 80, very active, and he had called me for a function in a school, which now he is the vice chairman of the trust. I was sitting with him. A friend came in and asked him, Professor Arora, you are 80 plus. When are you going to retire? His answer was very interesting. He said, when am I going to retire? Where is the question of my retiring? I have not started working at all. The last 50 years of my life has been a learning experience. That moment I thought, if I could, like my teacher, see my work, see my world, see my action, see my activities as a learning process and not as a job to be done, the world would be so much a better place to be in. 9 months ago, another incident happened. I don't know if such incidents happen at IIIT also. At my university, we have a PhD program, which has a research methods course, which is interdisciplinary. So I have mechanical engineers, electronic engineers, philosophy students, dance students, music students, political science students, management students, all together for 3 months for 2 of their 6 modules in a common research methodology course. And that's the course I have been lucky to anchor for the last 9 semesters. One day, and that class has students who are in the age group of 22 to 16. One day, I completed my class, and one of the students who was more closer to 40 than to 30 came up to me and said, "Professor," I said, "Yes." "Professor, please don't worry." I said, "Okay." "I was supposed to give you an assignment today, I'll give it to you tomorrow." I said, "Okay." I walked out of my class and asked myself, what did this fellow tell me? He told me, "Please don't worry." Now, I wanted to confirm, so I found him again and asked him, "What did you say?" I said, "Sir, I told you, please don't worry." I said, "Okay." I went back to my room and thought, why is he asking me not to worry? He is supposed to write the assignment, he is supposed to give it to me, and I am supposed to worry. At that moment, I asked myself, would it be better for me to take ownership for whatever I do? My student that day taught me that in any dimension of life, taking ownership for what you do is critical. And now I come to my third example, which happened 18 years ago. I had a student in my master's class who had done his BE and then came to a master's in the social sciences. And that was the time in 1996 when I started survey-based research. We used to go into the field, meet people, interview people, come back and try to explain an electoral verdict. The 1996 elections had come. I went to my class, told my students that we are doing this survey, I want volunteers. Because we don't get our survey done by professional surveyors. We think it's a moment of learning for students to go into the field. So this boy in his, that time we didn't have a semester system, in his second year rose his hand and said, "Sir, I want to go." I said, "Great, but I have one condition." I said, "Tell me." "I've never been to a village. I've always lived in a city. I've always grown up in a city. Can you please send me to a village for the survey?" I said, "Sure. We are looking for people to go to the village." I'll tell you what happened after he came back and tell you what happened when he was in the field as a flashback. He came back and told me, "Professor, I'm now in my second semester." I said, "Yes." "My second year." I said, "Yes. I want to say something to you. 18 months we have worked with you." I said, "Yeah. In 18 months, you people taught me nothing." Now, I know a lot of my students may have felt that through their lives. But nobody was bold enough to come and tell it to me straight on the face. I looked at him and said, "Why do you feel so?" 18 months, what you people taught me in the class, I learned much more than that 1 week in the field. Now, I had not been teaching for around 16 years then without a reason. So I told him, "That's why I sent you to the field." Now, what did he experience in the field which made him think that 1.5 years was a waste of time? We normally start our survey on the day after the election. He was so excited, he went on the day of the election. Early morning, 7 o'clock, he was in the village. And 8:30, he saw a long line of people standing to vote. And he said, "This I've never seen anywhere. In the city, I've seen a queue outside the KSCA stadium for a cricket match. I've seen a queue to get into different places, but I've never seen such a queue to vote." And I was excited. And Professor Shastri had never told us this in the class, the people stand in the queue to vote. And then he saw one lady standing in the queue, patiently waiting her turn. She went in, voted, came out, and this boy went up to her, not part of our survey, his own curiosity, and he asked her, "Amma, did you vote?" Now, if you were there, what would you have said? You saw her going in, you saw her coming out, and then you ask her, "Amma, did you vote?" But she was a typical person from the village who believed in civilities. So she told my student, "Yes, I voted." Then she asked then my student asked her, "Amma, who did you vote for?" Now, my student remembered my class where I said voting is something very secret. People will not tell you who they voted for. But this lady said, I don't know who I voted for. Now, this we had never taught in the classroom. Student said, okay, I'll deal with Professor Shastri on this point. He asked another question. Do you think this voting will make any difference in your life? No, it will make no difference in my life. Then she remembered one lecture I gave, he remembered one lecture I gave, where I said, some people vote because somebody pays them money to vote. So she thought this must be one of those categories. Gone, voted, doesn't know, no difference, go and collect her money. But by this time, this lady took pity on my student and asked my student, do you want to know why I did all this? Come. Did you know the man standing behind me? He is the richest landlord in this village. Do you know who is behind him? I am a daily wage laborer. The man who gives me my salary was behind him. And do you know who is behind him? There is only one temple in this village. The priest of the temple was behind him. My student was thoroughly confused. Why is she getting this who is who of the village? And then this person who had never gone to school, did not know how to read and write, taught my student a lesson in that street which we never taught in the classroom. This lady asked my student, child, is there any other line in this country where I can do my job before these people can do their job? Is there any other line in this country where I can do my job before these people can do my job? That's why on election day, I come and stand straight in front, because then I can stand in front of all these people. The story doesn't end here. My student went to the US to do his PhD. He came back in 2002 for his coursework. He went back to that village. That lady was now a Gram Panchayat member. She had become a Gram Panchayat member. For his postdoctoral work, he came back to that village in 2010. She had become the Adhyaksha of the Panchayat, the chairperson of the Panchayat. And when interviewing that lady said, my political journey began by standing in that line. And my student came to that conclusion, which none of us taught him in the classroom, that elections is not just about voting, it is about a fundamental social transformation that happens in society. So friends, in the last 30 seconds, I just make one point. You are all connected to IT. Can you reconnect to society? Can you reconnect to society? Because society needs people like you to be active citizens, playing your role not just as a voter but as an instrument of fundamental social transformation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shastri. It's an honor to have you with us today.